That's 234-7650.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub! I'm full of water! I stay hot tub! I stay very hot! I stay hot tub! Gonna get you hot tub!
Wake 'em up, wake 'em up, wake 'em up!
Stay hot tub! Rubber tub and hot tub! Rubber tub with me!
Good God, y'all.
Shall I get in the hot tub?
Yeah!
Will it make me sweat?
Yeah!
Shall I get in the hot tub?
Yeah!
Will it make me wet?
Yeah! Well. Hey, driving yesterday. No, I got home yesterday. Went on the computer, pulled up something, and it showed the man, James Brown. I think it was 1960, maybe 70. It's a man's world. You ever heard that song?
We're gonna be quiet on this.
I played it on Mother's Day.
That's probably a good move.
Yeah, we had a good month. Hey, speaking of Mother's Day, you got a beautiful wife. She's raised 2 great kids. I always say in these comments, I said, hey, good, thank God he's like his mother. Well, talk about what y'all do on Mother's Day. What did you do for her? Oh, Steve Moss is with us this morning. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning. No, we went to church. It was and the place was packed for Mother's Day, so a lot of folks. Unfamiliar faces were there. I think their mom might have said, listen, it's Mother's Day. Just come to church with me, so we did that. And, of course, always you got to go out to eat afterwards. That's the highlight, of course.
And where did you pick?
Where did we pick? I think she got to pick. Oh, Runaway Island on the beach.
There you go.
The food's not bad, but the view is unbelievable right there of the water.
Good people. I like those people there.
Yeah.
Before we get going, I got a legend yesterday. Woody forgot to say happy birthday. Jimmy Barr, the Florida Gator himself, a local legend. 2 gorgeous kids. That one of them married Counts' daughter, Chris, and they have a beautiful baby. And we saw them they were at the recitals at Bay High School. The Lorelei and Lake one. We saw all of them, but I didn't get a chance to say hello, happy birthday or hello to Jimmy. But happy birthday, Jimmy Barr. Great Gator, great football player. Yep. And did he have anything to do with recruiting Moss, Cooper Moss? Any truth these rumors I was hearing?
He did not, but he's if you go back and look at his bio when he played, I think defensive back for Florida, some big interceptions, some big plays, and he's so unassuming too. If you ask him, you have to. I mean, he doesn't just come out and tell you those stories. You have to ask him, but he has some amazing stories of back when he played for the Gators as defensive back.
Wasn't he on the same team with Spurrier?
See, Spurrier won the Heisman, I think, in 65 or 66, so it was in those mid-60s.
I think he was there when he got there or there when he left. Maybe, I don't know. He's been on our show before, done a great job. And is he still practicing? Does he still work? Or is he retired?
I think he is retired.
Okay, yeah. Good. Speaking of retired, Jason, how you doing?
I wish. Total opposite.
You returned very
Never
young.
retiring. We always start off with the hot tub. Is it true that Jason Kovaleski's putting in a hot tub at Max Fit?
Both locations.
We heard.
Wish.
That's the rumor.
I need one.
Both locations. Get in the hot tub. You can try it before you buy it.
That was rough.
He had a sign that said you can try it before you buy it, right over the hot tubs. I don't know what he meant by that. What was that about?
That's for Glenn. We got him in there.
What did you do for Mother's Day?
Oh, I'm a bad son. We really haven't done anything for Mother's Day because everybody was kind of doing their own thing. So we're going to plan a dinner. We missed a lot of birthdays over the last couple months. So we're all going to get together and have a dinner when we all can make it work. Because with businesses and work and everything, we just couldn't fit our schedules in. But I have one of the greatest mothers in the world. I do want to make sure everybody knows that. Without her, I couldn't have done anything in my life. She's one of the most selfless people. I mean, my happiness is her happiness, which I hate, but I love her for it. So I just.
And how long was she? Did she teach in Bay High?
She taught at Bay High about 26, 27 years, but she had another 15 to 20 years in Ohio that didn't transfer down for her retirement.
Right.
So
I'm familiar.
Yeah.
I know the drill.
So you know what's going on there. But she just loved teaching. She loved coaching more than anything, especially tennis. She had some of the best tennis teams from around here. They went to state titles and played the private schools down south, and played some professional tennis players when they got down there. But they had a lot of success, and I have to thank her for everything.
That's the first time I met her. I think it was 2000. It was at a tennis match, and I saw her.
We met her at the service when I was doing PE in Arnold, and it's like, who's that Kovaleski woman over there that's playing so good in tennis?
Yeah.
She's really good.
That's
Jim, actually, I remember that comment. Jim goes, man, I like her legs. Jason, what do you think about that? He actually said that.
Well, good. That's a compliment.
I said, I know her son. I mean, I wouldn't say that.
I didn't know you then, but.
Right.
Hey, Steve, got a question for you. Jeremy Pridgeon. Jeremy, love you, brother. He'll be with us Thursday. One of the top preachers throughout the Southeast, no doubt about that. He just said no throughout the nation. Yeah, that's true. He wants to know, have we found out yet Arnold's going to try to play tonight? I imagine it's going to be too wet. We have talked about this. You want to give us a little insight?
They're going to make the call, so tentatively at 7 o'clock tonight, Arnold will host South Walton in the Elite Eight in the state baseball playoffs, with the winner going to the Final Four. Supposed to be 7 o'clock tonight. With so much rain last night, and again, it's raining as we speak, they're going to make a call around noon. It looks like that game, that regional final will be pushed to Wednesday, most likely tomorrow. I mean, we haven't called it yet. It's ultimately the AD's, the athletic director's call, but by noon, Arnold's field holds water decent, but there's been inches of rain, so I don't see how they're going to get the game in today. So it'll probably push back to Wednesday.
And we already told everybody it's going to probably be the biggest crowd we've ever had in Panama City Beach for us. Probably not Panama City Beach, maybe Panama City.
Hopefully.
But South Walton, I saw their coach last night. He was on TV. They're bringing a load of people, and I know we're going to have a lot of people there tonight. So let's just plan on all being there at Arnold High School, and we'll announce it here on Ryan's show around 12. We'll call, make sure he knows to say something about it. I got a feeling like Steve. I think it's going to be played Wednesday, and I wish they just call it now and say, well, we can just build it up, get everybody there, have a huge crowd, because people tonight are going to be going, do we go, do we not go? Plan on going. They could actually probably. No, I take that back. I was thinking you go online. You can go online, buy a ticket, right?
You can with GoFan. That's the app. And then Arnold's doing something they've never done. The first 100 students get in free. The Booster Club, the baseball Booster Club is going to pay for them. So the first 100 students go by the front office. There is a sign-in sheet. You'll get a ticket. So the first 100 students, the school's never done that. Trying to boost attendance at a big playoff game, first 100 students will get in free.
Oh, I love this. I just read this, Steve, and this is approved by Steve Moss. First ever head football coach and wife free to get. All right.
That's the fine print.
Yeah, I saw it. I'm gonna be there regardless. I cannot wait. What do you think? How do you think's going to pitch tonight? You got any insight? Can you even talk about it? Has he told you to shut up?
It's going to be big. So both South Walton and Arnold are built similarly in that they really rely on their starting pitching. So we'll roll out our two Florida commits, my son Cooper and then his friend Eli Blair. They'll counter with their Auburn commit, the Borthwick kid, and then they have a Georgia Tech commit. Wow. And so at a high school level, rarely do you see literally 4 Division I pitchers go against each other.
You don't usually see any.
True, right. Yeah. And literally the schools are half an hour apart. Right. And by the way, there's also a Florida State commit on one of the teams. And so there's a lot of talent here in the Panhandle, which is exciting that we'll just play each other with a trip to the Final Four. So I think expect some very high-level pitching, especially something you probably won't necessarily see every day at the high school level. And then it's going to be whatever team can just scratch across maybe 2, maybe 3 runs, we'll probably win it. It'll be one of those type things.
Unless some big stud knocks one out of the ballpark.
that helps. I mean, you'll see, no kidding, all 4 of them will be in the low 90s with a great breaking ball, great slider. So you'll see some pretty high-level pitching that you normally don't see in high school.
Can Blair hit the ball?
He's not bad. I mean, I think at the next level, when he goes to Florida or whatever, he'll even tell you he's a pitcher. He's a 6'7" lefty, but he's not bad at the plate. But I think he'll even tell you at the college level, he'll be probably a PO. We call a pitcher.
I know you haven't seen South Walton play, but that Borthwick kid is really big too. He plays third base also. He's every bit of 6'3", 6'4"?
Oh, he's probably more 6'5". So he's a big kid. He's a hoss. Cooper plays with him in the summer on the travel ball, and his nickname for years has been Birth Certificate because he's had to put a copy of his birth certificate in his back pocket because nobody believed he was 10 or 12 or whatever. He was always 2 feet taller than everybody. So birth certificate is his nickname.
There's always that one guy. You know what I mean?
My goodness! Like, what are they feeding him? He's just a hoss, but
he's a big kid.
He's a big, and he'll play third base for South Walton. When he doesn't play third, he'll pitch for them.
Right.
And he's only a sophomore.
We just don't get these type of games
Yes.
every year. This is. I mean, when's the last time we've had two teams, even in the county or right beside us. South Walton's like part of our family.
Right.
Them playing each other to see who goes to the state, it doesn't get any bigger than this. We're going to have a huge crowd, so we're going to make sure. Come on, Arnold, just tell us it's going to be played on Wednesday. We can build up for
We heard
tomorrow.
that you're going to throw out the first pitch. Is that right?
But we never know which direction it's going to go. I don't know why this is. I throw a curveball every time I throw a ball. I don't know what the problem is. It's weird. Anyway, thank you, Jim.
You were built to be a pitcher.
We'll take it. We'll take it.
God knew you were going to be a pitcher.
Yeah, God knew that. But I tell you what, I'm looking forward to this ball game. And we got to talk about another one real quick. We're asking everybody out there, please. They've already left. They need money big time. Bozeman is playing for the state championship.
Final
Wednesday, right?
Yeah, and they've had some rain down in South Florida.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's all. Yeah,
down there, and so they've got a great shot. They're once again in the Final Four. Bozeman's never won a state title, but they've come so close. They've been in the finals before. They're going to rely on Trey Power. He's their lefty ace. Sometimes those soft throwing lefties are the hardest to hit.
Yeah.
So he's not going to be. He might be mid 80s at the most, but he's got a great breaking ball from the left side, and he just throws a bunch of strikes.
Yeah.
And so they'll really lean on him. He's their ace.
And they beat Arnold. They beat Mosley. This is a 1A school.
Yeah.
I mean, they're for real.
When I was young, I was a contactor. I wanted something that was throwing hard at me. I don't like that off-speed, left-handed, change-up, outside corner, inside breaking ball, all that. That really ties
Yeah, but you close your eyes a lot.
I wish.
I've heard. They threw it near you. You'd back out and close those eyes. You got to stand in there like
Once
a man
you get used to the speed of somebody, that's when you can really kind of dial in.
Were you pretty good, really?
I was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you that tall back then?
I was 6'1", 6'2", but I was pretty fast, so I could cover a lot of ground in the outfield.
Yeah.
And I was a contact hitter, so I could steal bases. And
Well, I do what Jason's going to do. We were going to do it. Wildcat's already done it. We're all going to give money. I don't care if it's $5, $10, $20, $100. If you're a business out there, if you don't like Maxfit Sports Nutrition, you want to write it off, you can. We need to give them a check or cash. You can take it by Bozeman High School. You can call over there. They can tell you exactly how you can get the money to them if you don't want to drive to the high school. Wildcat, what did they tell us yesterday? What did Jeff tell us yesterday?
I put that piece of paper where it was supposed to go, and I'll never see it again. I mean, so that we could put it on the Facebook and all that other kind
I don't
of
think
stuff.
we
But you
did.
could go online.
Yeah.
And
We heard you were handling all the money. Just give it to you.
Only cash. I will only handle
only accept
cash.
cash.
Yeah. No, we need to get money over there somehow. Just call the school if you can't
they'll
make
tell
it
you
over there.
where to go on the website.
Yeah.
Then you can use
Rick Bernicki, you listening?
use
He's
your
great
debit
about
card
helping people
and
out.
do it that way.
Yeah, we embarrass him. Make sure he does it. Anyway, again, $5, $10, $20. It doesn't matter. $100. If you got a business, give it to the school, and then after the game, we'll know which team we're going to help out. Probably by Thursday morning, which team we're going to help out, either Arnold or South Walton, because they're going to the state championship. It costs big time money. We worked that stadium when Chipley played for the state championship our last year in coaching. In Lee County, they pick out a team every year from that county. They get to go work the state. For the state, and they get paid. The school gets paid money for helping parking, concession stands, ticket taking, all this kind. It's pretty neat the way they do it for the Lee County schools down there. The facilities. Have you been down there before? The facilities are gorgeous.
The Hammond Stadium is where they'll be playing at. I believe it's a minor league ballpark for one of the different teams down there. But it's Cooper and I have been there to watch a game, and it's a beautiful facility.
Oh man, it's
absolutely. It's like
Yeah,
and the boys, especially ones that are for some of those rural areas, when they go down there and see that stadium, it might as well be Yankee Stadium or Fenway
Right,
Park.
you're right.
They walk in and go, "Oh my goodness!"
It's hard to hit a home run down there.
It's a big field.
They take it. They love it down there. But can't wait for Arnold, South Walton. It's going to be a huge game, and we're going to talk more about this game when we get back. We got Steve Moss, we got Jason Kovaleski, Jim Brandt, and Wildcat himself. Again, please take your time, and we're going to be saying it the entire day. Let's give some money to Bozeman High School, and let's go out and watch Arnold. Let's go to Arnold High School. Let's see the biggest crowd ever for a baseball game in Bay County. No one else is playing. It's the only game being played in town. It probably won't be. I'll tell you right now, I don't think it's going to be played tonight. It probably played Wednesday, but we're going to let you know right here as soon as they let us know, and we'll call Ron Movey. He'll be talking about it. You can listen to his show. He's on from 11 to 1, and Steve said we'll know by 12 o'clock, and maybe we might know before you get out of here. Maybe you can call and see if there's any new updates. But Steve Moss is with us, and we'll get to that. Jason, let's talk about your more and more coaches of all these teams are now getting involved with you. Coach Hudson talked about this last time on the shows. You weren't here, and he said, I'm getting with MaxFit. We want that advantage. We want our kids to get bigger, stronger, faster. We want them to know what they should and shouldn't do. What's the if you're not a member of a team, if you just have a family, like we have parents that listen to us every morning driving with their kids, what do they need to do? And what age do they need to start talking? I said the younger the better.
We can actually work with kids as young as 11, 12, 13 years old. Now, we're not going to give them the same things as a 15, 16, 17-year-old. We're talking about vitamins and, just, protein supplements, food supplements. But, normally about 14, 15, when kids are getting into the weight room is when we really want to start working with them and get their nutrition on point. I mean, it's always good to eat healthy. But you can get up with me. I'm usually at the 23rd Street store, 10 to 2. That number is 850-257-5780. You can call me. We can set up an appointment. You can set up a free consultation where we'll sit down and talk about your diet, talk about what supplements can help you. We have the InBody 570 that can kind of give us a total body composition analysis on you, and then we can kind of go from there and kind of analyze the situation and kind of lead you in the right direction. But we have certified nutritionists on staff at both locations. We have the Pier Park location next to Dick's Sporting Goods, and that number is 850-708-3051. And we just started our MaxFit Meals company. This has just got launched May 4th, so we are making ready-made healthy meals, fresh. Well, we have 2 drop-off locations right now that you can pick up meals from at Fitness Junkie and at Anytime Fitness. And we are doing custom meal prep, so you can email us at maxfitmealsanytime@gmail.com if you're interested. And what we do is we sit you down, we do kind of an intake where we diagnose what type of calories you need, what type of food you're eating, and we cook your meals for you for the week. So we do custom meal prep for you. We also have drop-up locations where you can get healthy meals now at Fitness Junkie and at Anytime Fitness, and it's called MaxFit Meals Anytime. If you would go like us on Facebook, we have a lot of information we're giving out. It's a new company, we're growing, but we're trying to bring healthy meals, healthy alternatives to fast food to the Bay County area for affordable prices.
I need to sign up for that.
Yeah, it's very, very interesting, and it's very scientific and broken down based on your body type.
I tell you what, I love this show. We have local companies. That's what we really deal with. Locals that grew up here that take care of people here in Northwest Florida, just like Chuck Tucker. His dad was a principal at Mosley, was an incredible principal, incredible man. He raised some great kids. Chuck has done the same thing. He started his business. He's knocked out the ballpark. They're spreading throughout the Panhandle of Florida. It's called South Oak Title and Closing. I'm talking about the elite realtors use them. South Oak Title and Closing, number 1, not even close. For all your real estate closing, make sure you don't make a mistake. No surprises. South Oak Title and Closing, number 1. J. Michael's Restaurant. Yesterday I was in there. Actually, it was Sunday afternoon. I was in there, and I looked over and saw these from Arnold High School, these things. Thank you, J. Michaels, for your support. Youth Leagues. Thank you, J. Michaels, for always giving back to community. What a wonderful man. They could make a movie about his life. It's really incredible what the guy's done. Self-made, unbelievable. The food's incredible. The legendary J. Michael's Restaurant on Thomas Drive. Black beans and rice is a special today. Best seafood, coldest beer, J. Michael's. Get to have a great time. Another local company, Stevenson Air Conditioning. Chad Mitchell, and that mansion he had probably had 3 units to be put in there to cool that big thing down, and he loved it. We told him about Stevenson Air Conditioning. He went with them, and they knocked out of the ballpark. They're incredible. Locals right here, taking care of locals in Northwest Florida. Stevenson Air Conditioning, number 1. And do I have time to do one more? One more, baby, and he is a legend. Charlie Corn's place on 15th Street, brand new facility. Steve, you've been down there yet? It's a beautiful facility right on 15th Street.
Can't miss it, right there on the bend.
Right by Perry Mason's office. It's unbelievable. Robert Fleming.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Robert Fleming is Perry Mason. Charlie Corn's place, daily specials. Pick out a meat, 3 signs for $11.20. Friday night special, fried fish, baked beans, cheese grits, or French fries, rolling the tea. Saturday night is fried shrimp, and Sunday, the big one. Oh my gosh, I see Glenn's got that grease all over his face. Fried chicken, mashed potatoes, green beans, cream corn, roll, and a tea at the legendary Charlie Corn's place. We'll be right back with Steve Moss, Jason, Jim, and Wildcat. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd.
Coach K is the latest to join on Ant Edwards. Let's slow down on the Michael Jordan comparisons. Nobody's saying he's going to go 6 for 6, but they do share some qualities, and that's okay. The league would like another MJ. The fans want it. The sport wants it. Everybody's craving another Michael Jordan.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Tuesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, a chance of thunderstorms and some clouds, and a high of 78 with a moderate breeze coming out of the south at 15 miles per hour. For tonight, a variety of some clouds and a likelihood of thunderstorms and a low near 76. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and a high around 81. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
ESPN Northwest Florida is an active member of the Panama City Beach Chamber. We want to introduce the newest members to the Beach Chamber: Bay Point Neighbors, 423 Productions, Paychecks, The Thirsty Ranch, Historic St. Andrews Waterfront Partnership, and OMG at PCB. Congratulations from the only local sports talk station, ESPN Northwest Florida. Your safety and proper care of your boat in an emergency is crucial. When it comes to on-water assistance, response time is everything. And since 1996, in the Bay or on the Gulf, it's Seato. Seato's Coast Guard licensed captains are on the scene in an average of 1 hour or less. Seato gets members home or back to boating faster. Become a member today at Seato.com or call 850-234-2323.
The battle for a 7th straight division crown starts right now, and the East already knows. Don't sleep on the Atlanta Braves.
Swung on, belted, deep right field. Home run, Michael Harris.
Tonight, Truist Park comes alive for Atlanta Braves baseball as Matt Olson and the Braves take on Dansby Swanson and the Chicago Cubs.
Coverage starts tonight at 6 on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN Northwest Florida.
From the Vortex Springs to the Bear Paw Canoe Trail. From Shell Island to 30A. We're your home for live sports. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. If I was a betting man, I would bet Arnold will not be playing South Walton tonight. Is that fair to say?
It is. I just reached out to the coach, and he sent me some pictures of the field, and the visiting dugout's literally underwater.
Yeah.
They're going to make the call this afternoon, so it looks like tentatively the game will be Wednesday night at home. Arnold will host South Walton. Game time still 7 o'clock.
Yeah, there were a couple of catfish swimming around first place. I don't think it's going to be played there.
Bring your pole.
Tomorrow, the game will be played 7. If it is tomorrow,
it will.
We're pretty sure it's going to be 7. Okay, we're pretty sure it's going to be 7 o'clock. They need to go ahead and make a call. We can go start publicizing it for Wednesday. And Steve, tell everybody again where it might be played. I wish we had.
I would say there's a 90% chance we'll be playing at home at Arnold Wednesday. It'll be pushed back Wednesday at 7. If for some reason that doesn't work out, Plan B is the public sports park. It's turf, so we know for sure it'll be set. But there's only a small percentage that will do that. And the reason why we need to get these games in, there's a relatively small window because whoever wins, whether it's South Walton or Arnold, their pitchers need so many days of rest before they get down to the Final Four in Fort Myers.
And when would that be down Fort Myers?
Fort Myers is Tuesday. Is going to be the state semifinal.
Is that Tuesday, Wednesday?
It is back to back.
If you happen to win, you get turn around, play the next day.
Back to back. That's correct, down in Fort Myers. And so I would say there's a 90% chance we'll play tomorrow instead of tonight because of the rain, 7 o'clock at home.
Yeah. And Bozeman has actually already left. They're down there.
Right. Yes.
They're ready to go. We, again, send money. If you just turn the radio on, we're going to send money to, if you can, please send money to Bozeman High School. Call over there if you can't drive over. Ask them what you can do to get money to Bozeman High School baseball program. And Arnold, they're going to, Steve, like you talked about, they need to leave at least by Sunday. I wouldn't leave Monday. I'd leave Sunday, get their legs under them. You talk, we used to live down there. It's going to take you with the traffic. This is say 9 hours with traffic.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if there's a wreck, which they usually are on the speedway.
You don't realize how big the state of Florida is till you got to drive from, you talk to people grew up with in Ohio. Down Miami's like 12 hours away from where I live. Yeah. Florida's got 2 time zones here, people, okay? It's a big state. And you hit that I-10 and you get to 75, it's like, all right, Fort Myers, 352 miles, like what, or whatever it is.
It's a hike.
Yeah,
It's a hike.
It takes a long time.
Yeah, we're expecting a big crowd. We're actually bringing in extra bleachers, believe it or not. Extra bleachers for the crowd, and then the first 100 students will get in
Where
free.
are the bleachers going to go?
Down the right field line.
Right field.
Down the right field line. And then if you're a student at Arnold, or if you're a parent listening, tell your student to swing by the front office, sign up. First 100 students will get in free. We'll give them a ticket, and so it should be a pretty good crowd.
Steve, should the parents or the fans here, two things we got to talk about. Number one, let's talk about getting in. Because we talked about this between break, and this is not Bay County, this is not Arnold High School, this is the state. And believe me, when they run something, they want to know every penny you bring in because that's their money. You cannot walk up to the gate like 90% of people want to do, especially older people. They want to walk in, give you the cash, go watch the game. Explain to them why they can't do that and how you have to get, what you have to do to get in.
It's a good question, Coach. It's called GoFan, GoFan. That's the app. And the Florida High School Athletic Association has mandated that all the state playoffs throughout the state, it doesn't matter what even sport it is, volleyball, basketball, football, whatever it might be, you have to buy your tickets through this app called GoFan. And so sometimes some folks will get frustrated. So they show up and they have cash and hey, I'm here to watch the ball game.
What's the reason for that? Do you know?
FHSAA wants to be able to track every single dollar that comes in. And so there's a chance if someone has cash, well, maybe it's not reported correctly or et cetera, et cetera. When it's done electronically via the app, the FHSA can track every single penny that comes in because it's electronic.
So if you're like me, I know people have said this before. We've had people on and say, I went to a game or we're going to go in because they wouldn't take my cash. They will help you. If you're like me and you're not good with this kind of stuff, they'll help you at the gate.
If you're not tech savvy, you're 100% that. They'll help you download the app and walk you through it. It happens every game.
Yeah, you can just have them your phone. They'll do it for you.
Yeah, so don't be apprehensive and go, I'm not tech savvy. I'm not going to go to the game. Don't let this stop you from watching.
And that does happen.
It does. Don't let this stop you from going to a great game. At the front counter, they'll help you and walk you through the process.
Talking about himself.
We'll get you in.
Yeah, and this is something you're not going to see every day. This is Arnold's making history. They've never done it, and we're known throughout the state of Florida. Bay County baseball is second to none. Look what Mosley's done. Look what Bozeman's done. Bay in the past. Great baseball's been played here. We're known for it. The winner of this game will go play for a state champion or go to the state. So we need to have the biggest crowd ever. I know the people in South Walton are coming over here. It's not going to be today. It's going to be Wednesday. Let's just go ahead and say that. The game's going to be played Wednesday. Yeah. Let's get all these South people, Walton people, come over, have a great time, go visit some of our sponsors and have a great meal. And then let's get this people in Bay County. We need to pack that thing. It'd be a shame if we don't have over 1,000 people there.
Yeah, there was a big crowd for our regional semifinal, which we played on Saturday. There was a standing room only, so this will even be more than that. But don't think there's a big crowd. There'll be no place to sit or anything like that. There's still plenty of seats available.
My next question for you. Should we bring in our own chairs, our own?
Totally up to you. I know there's bleachers, and sometimes bleachers aren't the most comfortable, as you know. But if you have chairs, a lot of folks bring their own chairs. I'd say 50% of the folks bring their own chairs. Yeah. It's more comfortable.
That's what I was.
And they can line them up wherever they want to. And if you're there, come by and say hi. I'll be in the press box. I'm the PA announcer.
Yeah, he's the voice.
Yeah.
I don't want to look ahead, but if you were happen to win, who would your likely opponent be from down south? Do you know, have any idea?
I tell you, Merritt Island's awfully good. They're a number one seed. Right now, of the 8 teams that are still playing, 4 of them are the number one seeds. So, and Arnold being one of them. So there's still some pretty heavy hitters that are still playing. There's a company, a McKeel Academy down in Lakeland. They're a private academy. They're awfully good. They're still the number one seed. So there's some really good teams that are still playing.
The Lakeland team, yeah, I know about that's not that old either. And
I never heard of that.
They're like an all-star team down there too. It's an all-star team. It is what it is.
I mean, this is uncharted territory. Arnold's been around 24 years. This team in baseball has never made it to the Elite Eight. So again, it's a neat opportunity for those boys to kind of cement a legacy, to do something no one's ever done in well over 2 decades.
Steve, I just got my tickets. Just downloaded it. The app on my phone. We're good. We got them. So we already got our
Look at you. You're a techie.
Julie got it done. I mean,
no way you got
about that.
Yeah. So we buy them now. Regardless of what day, if the game's not played today, it's still good for tomorrow, right?
Just show them at the gate.
You got it. That's it.
Hey, we're okay. Yep. No excuse. Go get these tickets and get it done today. That way you don't have to worry.
Yeah, you don't have to
it.
wait till you get to the gate to get your tickets.
Brian Norman just let me know that I will be sitting in the dugout with the team. You'll be sitting right by Coop.
He wants to give the pregame motivational speech.
Wait a minute. He just said how much it's going to cost to get this I might do it anyway. Yeah, I'm going to give $100 anyway. Yeah, I can do that. Arnold's going to need money too now. I feel good about this. South Walton, I love you people down there, but I kind of feel good about this.
Well, you've got some history with Arnold High School, needless to say.
A little bit, but just a little bit.
But now the Bay District schools, we do pick up the cost of the bus, whether it's Bozeman or Arnold or whoever it is, and the bus, believe it or not, is $5,000 to $10,000 for a bus to rent a bus.
Yeah,
and so you don't understand.
And you're going to stay there more than one day because
that is correct.
Yeah,
that's correct. It's
so. Do you pay
expensive.
the bus by the day that they're going, or just for the whole trip?
It's usually the trip. You negotiate a price. I told Coach Jones we're in the wrong business because just the bus for us to go to Santa Fe was $5,000.
Wow. You got to pay for the bus driver's hotel room, the food. They get you everywhere they can.
It's a lot. It's a lot.
I knew it was a lot. I think it was that bus.
I remember those days.
It's all for the kids.
That's right. Just think about it. All the way growing up, you dream about this, and then to actually have it. Not many teams are still playing. Not many teams ever get to get in the position Arnold's in right now, or South Walton. And if they win this, to get to go to the state championship series in Florida, that's like a lifetime dream come true.
Oh, there's no question.
They'll be at their 20-year reunion saying, hey, remember the time we got to go down there and do this and that? And we understand for a lot of the players, really the majority of them, the seniors, when we lose, God forbid, whenever that might be, or who knows, we might not lose this season. And if we could win it all, this is their last game. Yeah. They will not play at the next level. So a lot of those seniors, I think they understand that if they don't win, this is the end of their baseball career. Yeah. So I think it motivates them.
And you know what's so crazy about it? Both teams are 3 games away, 3 wins away for being the best team. If you're the best team in the state of Florida in anything, you're the best in the country.
Yeah.
Hold your thoughts. We got to take a break. Can you stay?
Sure,
you
yes,
go.
sir.
Okay, stay with us. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. And this is Steve. I tell you what now. We got to get an NIL deal. I got to talk to David about this. He owns it. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Coop's down there, and he shows up. People show up. I mean, it's a good thing. You guys like it. You go there quite a bit and have a good time.
We were there Saturday.
Yeah.
Love the place.
We were there. You know what? We were there Saturday late. What, did you go for lunch?
We saw you come in, and we exited the back door when we saw you come in.
I tried to get the bill to you, and I saw you run. Thank you, Steve. Anyway, El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. And I'm going to tell you what. Tell the people at Bay Hines, I don't know how often you talk to people over there, but whoever runs that new facility there did a really good job. We had place was packed out 2 nights in a row for the dance recitals. They treated you well. They worked it well. The place was gorgeous, clean, looked beautiful in there. So congratulations to the people at Bay High School, whoever's involved at Bay County School District, whoever's involved. They did everybody's talking about how great the facility was. But El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, the best Mexican food right across the street from the Navy base. They're chicken fajitas and steak fajitas are outstanding. Buy one, get one free. Small draft beer, small margarita. Check it out. You might see a superstar baseball player there tonight. Who knows? Also, Chad Mitchell. Steve, you better listen to me. Jerry, I know you're listening. And Coach, I know you're listening. 3 school board members, you need to listen to this. Next year, this coming up football season will be this man's 25th year of giving him up his time and energy to take care of Bay County athletes. It'd be nice to say hello to him and recognize him at a school board or something. I'm not putting pressure on you guys, but
we heard he wants a golf cart. He to roll up to the game.
He actually asked for a new truck. I said, Chad, that might be out of the budget. I don't know if we can do that. But 25 years taking care of Bay County athletes. The guy's incredible.
Well, I'll tell you this much. I'm the PA announcer for Bay High, for Bozeman. I do some Rutherford and Arnold games. I guarantee you we'll recognize him at a game this year. Absolutely we will.
Dr. Chad Mitchell. And you don't have to be a great athlete to go see Chad. Call, make an appointment. He'll take care of you. And Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Matter of fact, you great people over in South Walton, when you head in, it's right on your way. It's right down there on Back Beach Road on the right-hand side. Big, beautiful sign, Rudy's Barbecue. Best turkey you get anywhere. Go eat there, then go to the ball game, have a good time. And we're looking forward to seeing all the people from South Walton over here. I know we got a lot of people that listen over there, and they love their baseball team. Their coach is great. Get out to Rudy's Barbecue, have a great time. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And they do cater. Steve, I think you've used them one time. I know Arnold's used them one time. They cater. They do a great job. Rudy's Barbecue on Back Beach Road. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Steve Moss, Jason Kovaleski, Jim Brown. Let's talk about FSU when we get back.
All right.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Referees, they said it's a fact, and it's a proven fact, that you get more calls at home.
Any coach complaining about the officiating over the weekend? Felt like that's what everybody was doing prior to the weekend. Rick Carlisle, okay? Now, if I'm Rick Carlisle, don't stop. Like you won, don't stop.
It's the Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings from 9 till 11. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hey there, folks. Looking for a place that feels like home right in the heart of Panama City? Well, look no further than Charlie Corm's place at their new location on 15th Street. Charlie Corm's is not just a place, it's an experience. Imagine cozy corners, friendly faces, and the aroma of delicious dishes that'll make your taste buds dance. From sunrise breakfast to late night bites, Charlie Corm's on 15th Street has it all. Charlie Corm's place on 15th Street is now offering exclusive weekday lunch specials. Visit Charlie Corm's place on 15th Street. Look for the giant mural.
Here at Tracy's Fine Jewelry, we're here to help you celebrate the graduate in your life. What better way to celebrate this moment in time than with an exquisite timepiece? We have a large selection of Bulova and Caravelle watches, now 15% off. Tracy's Fine Jewelry has the perfect personalized gifts, from diamond initial pendants and rings to monogram pieces they'll cherish for a lifetime. All on sale today for 30% off. Commemorate your graduate today and show them how proud you are with a gift from Tracy's Fine Jewelry on the corner of 15th Street and East Avenue in Cedar Grove.
It's time for a new kitchen from Kitchen Designs. Kitchen Designs in Panama City Beach and Santa Rosa Beach offers full-service cabinets, countertops, and flooring, plus cash and carry cabinets available the very next day. Kitchen Designs has been family-owned and operated for over 20 years. Visit their showroom at 7934 Front Beach Road and on Lynn Drive in Santa Rosa Beach. Or call Kitchen Designs, 850-775-4150.
If aliens showed up tomorrow and said, take us to your leader, you'd bring them to the Coach James Hale Show.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
I wouldn't stay at home. Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! FSU Update is brought to you by Newbies. Get out to Newbies and have a great time. 3 great locations. I tell you what, Charlotte, I love that lady. She's talking about giving back to the community, the things she's giving back in different ways, not just always money. Her and John are always giving back, doing great things, and sometimes they want you to know about it, sometimes they don't. But they're always thinking about the community. Let's make sure we go support them. The legendaries, Newbies, they play bingo every Thursday now, about 1 o'clock. Great atmosphere, great people that work there. Newbies, appreciate them, appreciate the FSU Update, brought to you by Jim Brandt. Jim, what do you got for us today?
All right. The biggest thing for FSU lately has been the softball. They got down to the final game against Duke in the ACC tournament. We're ahead 3-2 going into the bottom of the 6th inning, and Duke was able to score 4 runs and beat them 6-3. So even though they lost the ACC tournament, they are going to host a regional. And I looked them all up, and I wrote all the teams down, and there's 64 teams. There's 16 regionals, 4 teams per regional. I'm not going to read them all. I'm going to tell you who's got the regions, but there's a lot of teams that made it. And I was kind of surprised. I'm not real sure of the baseball etiquette, the rules, the protocol. Even though you don't win your conference, you're still able to host a regional like Florida State. But here are the 16 team sites for women's softball, all right? There's 16 of them. Don't interrupt me with your SEC crap, okay?
Roll Tide.
No Alabama talk. All right. University of Texas, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Florida, Oklahoma State, UCLA, Missouri, Stanford, LSU, Duke, Georgia, Arkansas, Louisville, all right, Alabama, Florida State, Texas A&M. So at each of those 16 sites, there are 4 teams that are playing. And yes, James, there's a lot of SEC teams in there.
It just means more.
In softball.
You just cheat more. All right.
In every sport. Every sport, Jason.
At the Florida State Regional, there's 2 games. You got Auburn versus UCF, Chad Mitchell's UCF. All right, they're playing it Friday at 2 o'clock. And then later that same afternoon, Florida State's playing Chattanooga. Yankees in Chattanooga. So
hey, time out.
So there you go.
We want to hear something. We've got somebody that said they're highly intelligent, more than you, and they want to speak right now. So let's find out who it is.
This is Bill Allen.
Good morning.
Nobody.
Bill Allen. Good morning.
Go Blue Truck City Reserve. We're going to play these back to know. What's up, fellas? Good morning to you.
Turn my mic off.
Hey, Michigan Eddie.
The mic, you still hear him.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's going on?
I can't hear him at all.
You, brother. Jim's mic's not working.
Hey, you got a lot of baseball going on in Bay County. You got Arnold South Walton either tonight or tomorrow, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you got some of the best travel baseball teams coming to town this weekend at the complex for Beast of the East.
Wow.
Eddie's actually, he plays on the feeder team for Showcase Baseball Academy. So their national team's going to be here. You got a lot of 5-star nationals going to be here. It's a lot of great baseball going on this week in Bay County.
Can't wait, man. How's Michigan Eddie doing? Little Eddie doing? He doing well?
Yeah, he's doing all right. We got back last night. He played in the spring football championships down at IMG this past weekend, made it to the championship game. Didn't go as planned, but won Saturday against the Charlotte Boys and then took it on the chin against Osceola on Mother's Day. And now it's full focus on baseball. Got a hitting lesson today, and Eddie's getting ready for his big Memorial Day tournament up at East Cobb with his Showcase baseball team. So that's about it, man.
Steve, that's the reason we're so great in baseball up here. You see how at the younger level, how important it is, how big it is to everybody. Everybody plays, everybody coaches, and they get the training. Pretty good training, too, at a young age. I know Michigan spends a bundle of money on his son, camps, coaches, and everything else. And it pays off. We're getting ready to play for a state championship. Let me ask you this, Michigan, who do you like, South Walton or Arnold? What do you think happens?
I think Arnold can win it. I mean, they got Eli and Coop, and they got a great coach and all that, and they can do it. And I think last year South Walton took us out, right? So it's kind of a revenge factor, if I remember right. I could be wrong on that, but it's at home, got a good crowd going on, so they got to pack it out up there at Arnold, and then make it happen and go down to Fort Myers. And we've gone down there a lot. I mean, Fort Myers is that long drive. You lose an hour going to the time zone. Eddie's played down there next to the Twinkies Spring Training Complex down there. Played a lot of PG tournaments down there. So, it's traffic's bad down there. So you're right. They got to leave Sunday, and hopefully they win and say our prayers. And Philippians 4:13, you can do all things through Christ. So let's go. Marlins can do it.
Are you going to sit beside me at the game tomorrow night?
I don't know if I can go because we got church. We've missed a lot of church with Eddie on the road, so it's church night tomorrow night, man. So gotta go to church if they play tomorrow. I'm just being honest.
Okay.
So
well, I appreciate that. You got anything else for us? Any more knowledge?
No, that's about it. Saw it, call in. I'm at work, ready to teach a class here over at Tyndall, and then that's about it. And then Michigan's playing, I think, Kentucky in softball. Coach Jim Bob Superfly Snuka.
Yeah, that's true.
Who do you like? Who's going to win it all in softball? I think it's going to be somebody different from Oklahoma.
Eddie, watch it.
Who's it going to be?
All I got to say, Michigan can do it. I mean, Coach Hutch, our legendary coach, retired, and they won the Big Ten title. They beat Indiana. But, you got the superpowers. You got Oklahoma, you got Florida, you got FSU, so you got to take those out. Florida State's coach is the women's national Olympic team's coach. So you got some great softball in SEC and ACC, so we'll see. Hopefully Michigan can take it up. They're one of the few non-SEC schools to actually win a college softball title. So,
hey, I want to ask you something real quick. What's your thoughts on this? Because I read yesterday an article. It was somebody, a Big Ten guy, and they said, do not be surprised if the Big Ten goes after Georgia Tech. Their academics are outstanding. We get the great market of Atlanta. And that, the Big Ten's smart. I got to give them credit. All the different networks, they're going after TV markets. They've coast to coast, and we're sitting back in one little area, one little region, with one little station, ESPN. That stands for China Communist Country. No, I'm just kidding. What do you think? Would you be happy? I better be careful. I work for them. What do you think about Georgia Tech going to the Big Ten? Would you be for that? Great state now.
You're speaking truth by what you said. Don't backtrack, Coach. Don't be a backtracker. Anyway, I think Big Ten going to Georgia Tech is great. I mean, they got a pretty solid athletic program. Their engineering is phenomenal program. Their academics are phenomenal. So I mean, why not? I mean, like Jason and I have said before, the Big Ten goes after not only schools with great athletic programs and all that, but who brings in the most money when it comes to education and grants and all that, such as medical and engineering.
Research
and that's
dollars.
what the Big Ten is known for.
Yeah.
Am I right, Buckeye?
Yeah, research dollars.
Right?
They bring in billions of dollars, not a couple $100 million on TV contracts. So that's a huge, ordeal when you're looking at adding teams to the Big Ten. It's called an AAU certification. They bring in millions of dollars or billions of dollars in medical research, all kinds of things. So that was one of the sticking points with Texas and Oklahoma, to be honest, when they were first talking about coming into the Big Ten, and the reason they went with the SEC. So I don't know if that still has a huge effect with everything that's going on. I think Fox is running this now, so we'll see if that has an effect. But if it does, Georgia Tech is definitely a very attractive.
Well, they said Miami, the Miami market, Atlanta, and Charlotte. I
would take Georgia Tech and Florida State today and be happy as a clam, because we know Notre Dame's going to be in the Big Ten when all is said and done. Unless they just, for some reason, let them be independent, I don't see that happening. They're going to be in the Big Ten. But I think Florida State.
Or the Big 12.
No. There's only going to be 2 super conferences, and Notre Dame's not going to get left out. And they're already
talking about Miami?
No, I'm talking about Notre Dame.
Oh, I'm talking about Miami. Okay, yeah.
I would say Notre Dame, Georgia Tech, and Florida State would be the 3 teams that the Big Ten are really, really going hard after and want.
What do y'all have now? 18?
I think 18, yeah, with Oregon, Washington, USC, UCLA.
I think it's going to be 22 in the SEC and 22.
I think we're hitting 24. We're going 24. That's the NFL model. I think that breaks down the schedules a little bit more evenly. You got one conference champion here, one conference champion here. You're going to have a SEC versus Big Ten national championship every year. So
it's coming. There's no doubt. Jim, do you get in what you need to get in? You got some more time?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Okay. We'll come back. We can finish up if you want to. All right, we'll be right back. Hey, Wildcat, not Wildcat. Is he still in Michigan? Are you still there?
I gotta go. You guys
all
have
right.
a
Thank you for calling.
Have a good day.
All right, take care. Go Post C. I'm out.
God bless you. Thank you, sir. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We got so many of them. I appreciate everyone. Dr. Ward, a big Gator himself, and he's all excited about South Walton. He's got a youth league team over there. He's coaching, doing very well. You can listen to him tomorrow at 7:30. Dr. Ward, a Florida Gator himself. Looking forward to that. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. If it doesn't look right, feel right, go see him. 5 minutes can save your life. Make sure you protect your skin. Everybody's getting ready to get on the beach, on the boats, golf courses, and everything else. Take care of yourself. Max Fit Sports Nutrition. You look better, feel better. Jason Kowaleski. One thing I love about you, Jason, you can try it before you buy it. I like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And now we have the Max Fit meal. So we can cover all bases now. We got your in-body, nutrition, supplementation, and now we can make the meals for you. So just give us a call, 850-257-5780. We're on 23rd Street and in Pier Park North.
I tell you what, I love Pat Perneau, the city commissioner of Lynn Haven, one of the best they've ever had, no doubt about that. But he does a great job with Beef Oak Brady's in Lynn Haven. One day away, 10 wings and a side for $9.99. You walk in, they're friendly, they always got a smile on their face. The service is unbelievable, the food's incredible. He's always giving back to the community too. I remember back in the day, we used to have our football games on TV. They recorded shows over there. Beef Oak Brady's in Lynn Haven. Love Pat. Get out there and support them. We'll be right back with Steve Moss, Jim, Jason, and Wildcat. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, your home for Mike Greenberg.
I would not have my daughter call me Mike. Right. She calls me Dad.
But your nephew says Uncle Michael.
That's the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing.
Are you distinguishing between the Mike and the Michael?
No, I'm saying one's using your first name and one's not. Big
difference. She calls me Dad.
Of course she calls you Dad.
You want her to call me Father Michael?
Papa Mike. Papa Mike.
What am I, a priest?
Greeny. Weekdays on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Tuesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, a chance of thunderstorms and some clouds, and a high of 78 with a moderate breeze coming out of the south at 15 miles per hour. For tonight, a variety of some clouds and a likelihood of thunderstorms and a low near 76. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and a high around 81. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
Did you know that fees associated with real estate closings are virtually the same from one title company to the next? So what sets South Oak Title apart? Effective communication, customer service, expertise, and technology. If you're buying or selling real estate, refinancing a residential or commercial property, tell your realtor you want to close with South Oak Title. South Oak Title, with locations across the Southeast, including Panama City Beach, Inlet Beach, Destin, and Fort Walton Beach. Visit them online at southoaktitle.com.
Do you know who I am?
If he was the last person on Earth,
Kind of a big deal.
mankind would still have a chance.
We may have to repopulate the Earth.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show.
I'm very important.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Huge baseball game. We're calling it now. We're going to say it's be called tomorrow, and we believe it's going to be at Arnold, not at the, what's the name of the other place?
Public Sports.
Public Sports. I think it's going to be played at Arnold.
At Arnold.
And we need to pack the place out. The biggest crowd ever. Come out and enjoy it, and bring your own chair. That's what we're going to do. Julie and I are going to bring our Bama chairs, sit there and watch a great baseball game.
Reminiscent of the good old days.
Yeah, man. Can you imagine here in this county, get an opportunity to see two teams that have 5 Division I players?
At least.
High-end Division I players.
Yeah. We're talking the Gators.
Florida State, Auburn, Florida. I mean,
yeah. Where's the other kid from South Walton going?
Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech.
Georgia
Wow.
Southern. There's on both sides. You got Division I commits that'll be pitching and hitting.
And then we don't even say it enough. Coop and he's got another year.
Yeah, him and his teammate Eli are just juniors.
Wow.
You're 100% right. And so Cooper right now usually sits his fastball between 92 and 93, and he'll hit a 5 or a 6 every now and then, a 95 or a 96.
Are we seeing the new dominating? Are we seeing Mosley East or West? Mosley, what, is this something new? I mean, we're going to dominate from now on?
It's unique in that it used to be if you were a great ball player in Bay County, you'd go to Mosley because they had the pedigree. They won state titles. They're in the Final Four.
We couldn't keep our kids home.
Right. And even if you weren't zoned for Mosley, we have school choice. You could still end up playing there because they were just a great legacy of great teams. And so now it takes time. It doesn't happen overnight. But I think that has shifted somewhat, and now that believe it or not, kids that live on the beach, instead of going and playing somewhere else, they're staying put and saying you can win at your zone school. You do not have to leave and go someplace else. And so it's a discussion Cooper and I had when he was in 8th grade. Are you going to stay at your zone school and play at Arnold, or are you going to go across the bridge and play someplace else? And so it was
another factor here too, and I'm not throwing stones at anybody, but it's just fact. Look at the stability that they've had with Coach Jones at Arnold for however many years. It's Jones, right?
Yes, correct. Yes, sir.
Yeah, for however many, 4 or 5 years there, he's been there. And it's the time period that he's been here. Mosley's been through 3 head coaches.
Yeah, I mean, that is.
And that's a factor. I just believe, I coached forever, and just you can't keep changing every couple years, especially at the level that they want to play at. That's tough. And I know they got good players, and I know they got tradition. I'll take the same coach every year. I think that helps too.
Yeah.
I really do.
Having a couple guys that throw in the low 90s helps too.
Yeah, that helps.
Major league talent helps.
A little bit.
There's times where I was saying, you could run whoever else out there and still do pretty well with the talent. But
look, you're talking about coaches. Look at Patton at Bozeman.
Yes.
Every year.
Yeah, that's probably the best example. He's been there forever.
Yeah, he's a great coach.
That makes a difference.
Well, and again, we're asking you all out there, if you just turned in for the first time, if you can send some money to Bozeman High School, we surely appreciate that. Any website that gives money to, do y'all know what it is?
Usually there's like a GoFundMe or a Cash App link, but I don't want to say anything like that without their official saying, because
it's like Steve said, just call over there and ask them what's the best way. How can I get? I don't want to drive to Bozeman. What's the best way I can get money to the baseball team?
I'm sure if you can get up with there and just call the school, they'll figure it out.
Right,
they'll take your money.
And don't forget the huge game tomorrow night, 7:00. Probably 90% sure it's going to be at Arnold. South Walton, Arnold getting together, and the championship.
I don't know what made me think of this, but is Bozeman playing today?
No, they're not. They're still they're on their way there. They left.
Oh, that's right. They've already left. That's
They
right.
left
They're down
yesterday.
there. That's right.
They have one less round in 1A, I
That's
believe.
right. That's
They
right.
do. In 1A, you only got to play 2 games to get to the Final
Yeah.
Four, and most of the other divisions got to win 3 to get
Right.
there. So they had one less game, so
Brain
therefore
cramp. I'm sorry, my bad.
they're there a little early. But it's really exciting to have 2, actually, 2 Bay County teams, obviously, but then one over in nearby Walton County
Right.
competing as well, still playing. I mean, you figure there's 90 teams in Class 4A, and 2, well, there are only really 8 that are still playing, but 2 of the 8 are here in the
Right.
Panhandle, which is pretty cool that are still playing of the 90 that are in the division.
All right, we got a caller can help us out. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing?
We couldn't be better. How are you doing? Who is this?
I'm good. This is Michael Goodwin. I have a couple boys that play on Bozeman, and I just wanted to give y'all the Bozeman Venmo account.
Oh, good.
cool.
Thank
So if
you.
anybody wanted to
Yes.
donate, it'd be great.
Yes. Go ahead.
It's at Bozeman_baseball.
Okay. At baseball. Go ahead. Is there anything else?
No, sir. We appreciate all the support we can get from the community. It's a big trip, and boys are down there now eating breakfast and getting ready to go practice. So
Yeah, we were talking
exciting.
about the state. We know we dealt with it when you go to state play. They get their cut, and they don't pay the schools out very much money. So we really need to support this. It costs a lot of money to go down there. They're staying at least a couple nights, maybe 3. The bus costs a fortune. You got to pay for the bus drivers, spend a night, food, and all that kind of stuff. So we're telling everybody if they can send $5, $10, $100, whatever you can do, let's do this. Tell us again the name of it again. How do you get to it?
it's at Bozeman. So it's the little insignia of at Bozeman_baseball. That's our Venmo account.
What, Venmo?
Venmo.
Venmo.
You never
I
heard of
also
Venmo?
put it in the comments as well.
It's a way for you to send folks money electronically.
Oh, okay.
It's on this thing called the internet.
Yeah.
It's called electricity, James.
I just asked seriously, what the hell is that?
Venmo.
Telegram. You send it tomorrow, it'll get there.
You know,
Mike Hills is
you know how much money I save.
That's how you save it.
Yeah, I'm just going to give some cash to Pat, and he'll make sure to get it. I think Glenn gave him some the other day. Wildcat gave him some, and also, what's your name again? I'm sorry, I apologize.
Michael Goodwin.
Michael Goodwin. Michael, if we just can we also too if we're over there, we just come by the school, give them the money, and say, hey, give it to them. How are we doing so far? Anything else we need to do? The booster club, anything like that? What can we do to help out? Besides,
We're working on getting businesses to kind of donate to the team just to support the efforts with their big trip here.
yeah, and then we hope we'll raise enough money to pay for all that and have money for state championship rings. I feel good about Bozeman. I think Bozeman's going to bring home a state championship.
Yes, sir. We may be looking for somewhere, if God willing we win, for a welcome back party. So we're trying to
British
work on that
barbecue,
now.
baby.
Yeah, we're going to have the kids on over here, and but win or lose, we're going to have them in the studio.
You can have that at your house.
Yeah, we could do that.
I don't even think anybody knows where he lives in Bay Point.
Yeah, and they will not know. But anyway, we'll have something. Maybe at Rudy's Barbecue somewhere
There you
else.
go.
They got a big place there. Hey, are you heading down there? Or are you just going to watch it on the internet?
No, sir. We're loading up. We'll be pulling out at 9:30 this morning.
All right, it's going to take you about, with the traffic, everything, give yourself at least 9 hours.
Be careful.
Oh, yeah.
Please be careful.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Well, tell Coach we said hello. Good luck. We're going to keep talking about giving you guys money for the rest of the week, and hopefully people, good people of Bay County, which I know they will. They'll support you guys. They'll get you plenty of money.
And when's your first pitch? When's your game start?
7 o'clock.
It's 10 a.m. on Wednesday.
Okay.
But it's 9 a.m. obviously Central Time.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Okay.
All right, buddy. Thanks for calling. I appreciate it. And thank you
luck.
for the information. Thank you so much.
Be
Yes, sir.
careful.
We appreciate y'all's support.
All right. Thank you, buddy. Steve, tell everybody again how to do this, what he's talking about.
Venmo, yeah, there's an app called Venmo, Venmo, and so you go on there and you type in the information he has, and you can send money, or you can actually accept money as well. You can set up your own Venmo account. You can accept or send money. It's amazing through this thing called the internet. You put in your card, and it's non-cash, so it's a lot more efficient than putting $20 in an envelope and sending it to somebody with a stamp.
You said we can start one. They can send send you money?
Yes, they can.
They still take money in McDonald's bags.
Yeah. Wildcat, we need to get on there.
I'm on it.
They've probably been on it for like 10 years already. I mean, this isn't like...
Send the money here. We'll make sure it gets somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyway. You look like you just discovered the moon or something.
Yeah, how much time we got?
This is great.
You learn something on the show every day. It's amazing, man.
We got to take a break.
There's this thing called eBay, too.
Come on.
I've heard of that.
We won't even go into Cash App and all the others.
I have never done what y'all are talking.
I haven't either, but I've heard of it.
So basically, you link your bank account, and other people that have bank accounts linked, you can just send them money directly, and your bank account makes that transfer for you. No cash. You don't have to carry anything in your pocket. We're turning into a cashless society, no matter what anybody says. So it's convenient.
No, we cannot let that happen.
For the older generation, it can be inconvenient, but that's because some of them are not as tech savvy as the others.
You go to most ballparks now, and it's cashless. I mean, most ballparks, professional, even collegiately, there's no cash.
The days of you saying, "Oh, I forgot my wallet at the restaurant," are soon.
I forgot my card. I forgot my card.
And with the prices, you need your credit card with you.
Well, and even tickets now. If you go to a ball game, they don't issue you paper tickets anymore. Your tickets are on your phone. So everything is cashless and electronic. Even the tickets. There's no, I left my tickets at the house. Well, as long as you got your phone, you're fine.
That's what happened during COVID, but some of it was really cool ideas, so they just stuck with it because it was efficient to do. And
I smell the government. They can,
Oh, they're going to profit off everything anytime they can.
Anyway, let's get off that. Thank you, Jason.
You're welcome.
Turf Pro Pest Control. You want that yard to look absolutely beautiful? Call Patrick. His crew will come out there. It will look beautiful. Also, Wildcat, if we're going to go and get some jewelry, maybe design a state championship ring for Arnold, South Walton, or Bozeman, where can we go to get it done locally, done right? And if it screws up, they can fix it right there in their office. Where's that at?
In there, and with 42 years of experience, not likely to screw anything up. You can take your own design. You can sit right there with them at David Adamson's Fine Jewelry and Design and design something right there on the site. Or you can take your old jewelry, take it in there, have it appraised, sell it to them if you want, and buy a new piece of jewelry. They had a great successful sale last week, and their customer appreciation coupled up with their anniversary. It was super successful. New stuff coming in daily, and of course they're going to mark down what they have left over. So go check them out. David Addison Fine Jewelry, Highway 77, Lynn Haven.
Hey, I'm not getting on a boat going out in that Gulf unless I have what?
Jason Kowaleski said it best when he said, "Don't be a Gilligan, have Cito."
Cito. Don't get on the boat without Cito.
They'll take care. They take care of this area. Our local Cito takes care of this area and Port St. Joe. That number 850-234-2323, or to make it easier on yourself. And Coach, this will give you a little practice on the internet. Go to Cito.com. and look at all of the different plans that they have so that when you go out on water, you and your family are safe.
Wildcat, just think back. If Quinn would have had this, that Jaws would never ate him.
That's right.
He had been great, man. The guy was not very smart.
Nope.
He mind you about that stuff that Steve was talking. What's it called again? Venmo.
He could have Venmo some money and
he'd have been
showed
fine.
up.
He'd have been fine. We'll be right back. Alabama 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
AC is up next.
You see, you got to keep winning those paychecks before every day to make him happy. But here's the thing. These losers every single day, they come in, we hate Jim, we hate this, we hate AC. Well, if you hate us so much, why don't you do something about it?
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Tuesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, a chance of thunderstorms and some clouds, and a high of 78 with a moderate breeze coming out of the south at 15 miles per hour. For tonight, a variety of some clouds and a likelihood of thunderstorms and a low near 76. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and a high around 81. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover the new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. Our SUV family is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or a new 2024 Kia Sportage. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Bill Bird Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillBirdKiaPanamaCity.com. Now, enjoy the view this summer because the road is yours in a brand new Kia from Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or new 2024 Kia Sportage with $2,165 per month per $1,000 financed in 48 months. Quality is limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 7/8/24.
WPLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX New Haven. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Battle for a 7th straight division crown starts right now. And the East already knows. Don't sleep on the Atlanta Braves.
Swung on, belted, deep right field. Gone! Home run, Michael Harris.
Tonight, Truist Park comes alive for Atlanta Braves baseball as Matt Olson and the Braves take on Dansby Swanson and the Chicago Cubs.
Coverage starts tonight at 6 on your home for the Atlanta Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN, Northwest Florida.
He doesn't try on clothes at the department stores. He just rips stuff off the hanger and lives with the consequences for years.
It's classy, it's intriguing.
He's sexy, sassy, and full of spunk.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Tide Roll. Alabama updates brought to you by Stevenson Air Conditioning. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1. It's going to be hot. We don't care. We got Stevenson Air Conditioning anytime, day or night. If it breaks down, especially all these storms, some of them get injured or get destroyed. You call Stevenson Air Conditioning. They'll be there for you, and they'll fix it up. Get it serviced about every 6 months. It'll save you money. It runs better. Now, let's talk about the Alabama Crimson Tide. We might get a phone call. If Mike calls today, let's don't take it. Let's don't interrupt Alabama today. People were upset about that. A lot of people. Jim was mainly recruiting since 2001. We dominated. These are the teams that have dominated their recruiting cycles, classes on the average. From 2021, 2024, Alabama came in at #1. Their average 1.5. Georgia was second, 2.25. Ohio State, surprisingly, there's the 3. They're always up there, 3.25. And then it went down to all the rest of them were tied, and all of a sudden my computer is not showing up like it needs to. Oregon, LSU, Texas, and I can't see the rest of them, so I'm sorry about that. Oklahoma was right after them. So the teams that win do well in recruiting. Now that you can transfer out, it's different. You got to get kids to transfer in. You got to keep what you have. So all this, what we used to think about it, everything's changed. But this is my concern with Alabama. If you're an Alabama fan, can we keep it up in this recruiting? And can we keep bringing in great transfers? We lost some really great football players. Right now, according to 24/7 Sports, Alabama's ranked 7th in the nation. In most schools, that would be pretty good.
Yeah.
When Nick Saban was Alabama, almost every single year since 2008, they were 1, 2, or 3 every single year. DeBoer's first class in Alabama was one of the best in the country. I think it was #1 again, or at least #2. Anyway, I'll say this: they were ahead of Georgia. Georgia was next. Ohio State went on from there. Oregon, LSU, and Texas. That's how it went. But it was his class. But they all were recruited by Saban. Now that he is really there, they're ranked 7th in the country. My question to all of you guys are, for me as an Alabama fan, this is concerning to me. Notre Dame's #1 right now, and we still have a ways to go. #1 just moved. Notre Dame just moved ahead of Ohio State. Ohio State's 2nd. LSU has an unbelievable class. They lost one in commitment to, I think, Oklahoma. And Kelly went nuts over that. USC is #4. Clemson is #5. Oklahoma is #6, and then Alabama. Auburn's actually ranked 10th right now in the country. Hugh Freeze is knocking out of the ballpark from what Auburn's done the last 4 or 5 years. I know it's not as important. Yeah, it's just as important, but you got to keep them. But Alabama would be 7th when you used to be in 1, 2, or 3. Is that a red flag? To me, it's a red flag.
The recruiting game has changed.
For
and
sure.
Lord knows, Nick Saban will tell you that coaches now, their first priority is to re-recruit their own players each year. So that's the priority, re-recruit their own players, see who's staying. Second is they jump into the portal, see who's available, right? Third, they might go the JUCO route. And then after that, finally, you're going to look at your high school kids and see what kind of 5-stars are out there. But that has shifted over the years where now their top priority is re-recruiting their own players from year to year to see, how much NIL money are they going to need, or is another school trying to whisper in their ear, and then from there go to the portal. And so it used to be high school, well, you got to get those 5-stars. You got to get these high school 5-star studs. Yes, that's a priority, but not like it used to be, because you better make sure your starters from last year are coming back. You got to re-recruit your own team.
And to Steve's point, Ohio State's a really good example of that, okay? A lot of people bang on Ohio State. Well, they only had 4 guys drafted in the NFL. Okay, you're right, they did. But they had like 8 guys just on defense, like exactly what you're talking about, that could have left, and they were influenced not to, because of NIL.
They're paid. Let's go.
So all the down linemen, 3 of the DBs, those guys would have been NFL guys, all of them. But they chose to so you're right, you got to recruit, you keep the ones you got, because you can't tell me that a kid who's been 3 years in the system, 4 years in the system, isn't better than a kid coming out of high school.
And also, don't think, when Saban was there, they always ended up with the number 1 or number 2 class, but about this time of year, they're in the 20s, they're 15, right. 16, but they always close hard. I mean, it didn't matter what, they were ranked in, 7 months out, but by signing day, they were going to have the number 1, number 2 class. There's a lot of time left. There's still relationships. Right. There's still portal players that are out there that teams are still evaluating. So I don't think it's a red flag right now. As a matter of fact, him landing Ryan Williams last year was a huge recruit for them, because that put them back on the map with some of the 5-stars that they wanted to retain. I think the quarterback spot's good. They're always going to recruit defense well. I mean, it's the SEC, it's Alabama. I think that recruits itself for the most part. But if they can just get weapons, I mean, the guy can coach offense. The problem with Alabama fans is they're going to have to be patient with him. He's not going to come in and be Nick Saban right away. And that's just the last thing that they have on their mind after winning 6 out of 9 championships. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think DeBoer can be the guy, but they're going to have to be patient with him. I just don't know if Alabama fans have the patience.
And I've mentioned this a number of times, and I'm going to mention it again now. Talk about being patient. I'm going to say this again. There's 12 teams going to make the playoffs. It's not 1 or not 2 teams. It's not 4. So you can't tell me that Alabama doesn't have a really good chance of being in the top 12. Of course they do. So if you lose 1 game or 2 games, as long as, for them and Ohio State too, you don't lose 3, you're going to be in. You're going to have a shot. Now, it may not be at home. You may not have a bye that first game, but you're going to be in. And I think a lot of fans all over the country have to just tamp down the expectations that, by gosh, we always went undefeated under Nick or Bear or whatever. That's not realistic. That's not going to happen anymore. It's just, it's going to happen eventually, but it's not going to be.
I still like them as the second best team in the SEC right now. I don't trust Chip Kelly. Brian Kelly. I don't trust LSU. I really don't trust Texas this year. Their secondary doesn't look very good. Defensive line needs some help. They got some issues over there. Alabama's solid across the board. Now, what's Milroe going to look like under DeBoer? What's the offense going to look like? If he can get him settled into that intermediate pass game, because we know he can throw the long ball, we know he can scramble, but if he can hit that 10, 5, 7-yard out, just keep the chains moving, Alabama's going to be dangerous next year on offense.
Alabama's DBs, we're thin, we're young, talented, but we got a long ways to go there. And the way people can throw the ball in the SEC, I'm worried about the defense side of the ball in Alabama. Yeah. Offensively, I think we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
But I want to go back, and I know a little bit inside of what's going on up there as far as the recruiting. And I am concerned about Alabama right now being 7th and not being 1, 2, or 3 like they've been for 17, 18 years. And I think Georgia and Ohio State would be concerned. They're still right up there. They're still 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5 right now, like they always are. It hasn't changed for them. It's changed for Alabama. When you go in and you get rid of every guy, and they had an old department did nothing but recruit. The whole building did nothing but recruit. And you get rid of guys that brought in the number 1 classes, had relationships with all these coaches, not just in the southeastern United States, the nation. They knew them. They knew who they are. and then you let them go. And you bring in a guy that had 1 year college experience at NC State, and he was a high school coach. And I'm not cutting him down or anything else. I'm sure it's going to get back to him. He was coaching in high school, had a kid that people wanted. He goes with the kid to NC State. He's there 1 year, and they go hire him in Alabama and get rid of people that have been there for 13, 17 years, 10 years, that know all the knowledge they have. I thought it was a dumb move by their coach, by the head coach at Alabama. I thought it was stupid what he did. And he was involved in everything else going on as you are, as a new coach come in, new program. Right. He was in every direction you could go in. And he left it up to these guys to make decisions. And I think one guy he blew it. That's just me. Hopefully they didn't. At Alabama, you're going to be able to get people to come to Alabama. Their facilities are second best in the entire country. You go to a game there, you want to go there. I've had Florida State fans that have been there and say, "My God, it's unbelievable." You're going to get good players there, but if you're going to win a national championship like Saban, you got to have the elite there. And I hope they can keep doing it, and only time will tell. But I do have a concern about that. All right, Alabama also schedule ranking, and everything about winning and losing is your schedule. You got an easier schedule, you can win more ball games. Georgia had an easy schedule last year. They won 12 games in a row and did not make the playoffs. They only lost to Alabama, which lost 2 games last year. But this year, Alabama's hardest, they ranked all the hardest schedule. This was by 24/7 Sports. How much time? I'll hold this. You know what? Forget it. We'll talk about this tomorrow. I'm getting upset thinking about what happened at Alabama. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Stevenson Air Conditioning, #1, not even close. Anytime, day or night, they're there for you. Call Stevenson Air Conditioning. Get it serviced about every 6 months also. J. Michael's Restaurant, the best seafood, the coldest beer. Get out to the legendary J. Michael's, have a great time, and tell them Coach sent you one day away from that world-famous J. Michael's spaghetti. Steve, have you had it yet on a Wednesday? Have you been there on a Wednesday yet?
No, I usually always go there and... Boy, the oysters is what I get, honestly, when I'm there.
I want you to go on a Wednesday. Take Coop there. I know you're not going to be able to do it this week because everything's going on, but sooner or later, get in there and you try the spaghetti. You'll love it. Tell Coop go during the summertime.
We'll do some carb loading before.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say.
Spaghetti for everybody.
It's amazing. It's really good. He's got some kind of sauce. He won't tell you how he does it, but it's really outstanding. Also, South Oak Title and Closing, Chuck Tucker for all your real estate closing. Do what the experts do. They all use South Oak Title and Closing, #1. We'll be right back. Auburn Tigers, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Well, good morning, Coach. This is Bubba. How you doing?
Bubba. I'm doing pretty good, man. How you doing?
You sound a little down, Bubba.
I'm up, man. I'm up because I avoided what old number, what's his number, 45? He's having a little trouble up there in New York City. Now they're talking about how he doesn't sleep in the same room as his wife. Well, hell, I don't even sleep in the same house with my wife.
Weekday morning, 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Tuesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, a chance of thunderstorms and some clouds, and a high of 78 with a moderate breeze coming out of the south at 15 miles per hour. For tonight, a variety of some clouds and a likelihood of thunderstorms and a low near 76. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and a high around 81. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Are you feeling tired, weak, or maybe you feel old and cranky? If so, I have the answer. It's Max Fit Sports Nutrition with 2 locations, 23rd Street in the Coronado Plaza and in Pier Park North on Back Beach Road. Max Fit Sports Nutrition has nutritional products and professional dietary plans to get you moving in the right direction. So get off that couch and get to Max Fit Sports Nutrition now. Max Fit Sports Nutrition, where you can try it before you buy it. Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
He's the sexiest man on the planet.
Live and local from the J. Michael Studio. The Sports Talk Must. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Where'd Bush end up?
He's still up there right now. Eagle. Bum, 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 bum. Hey, Auburn Update brought to you by the legendary Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Pat Pernod, the city commissioner of Lynn Haven. We all know what a great job he does there. Go to his restaurant, you're going to be amazed. The people walk in, it's like going to back in the day in Cheers. Walk in a bar, they all know your name. That's how you're treated there. The food's incredible. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. We're one day away from the world famous 10 wings and a side for $9.99. Yes, that's right. Under $10. You can't beat that. Cannot do it. Go watch all the baseball games that are going on there. Beef O'Brady's. Have a wonderful time. Tommy and Louise were there last Sunday watching all the things that were going on. They had a great time. And so will you. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. All right, Auburn Tigers. Hugh Freeze has come in and has done an outstanding job. We mentioned earlier 24/7 Sports right now, and they will move up. They're 10th in the nation recruiting. Auburn hadn't been in the top 10 in quite a while. Harsin didn't do anything in recruiting. Hugh Freeze can recruit. We see the guys that came in early enrollees, the receivers knocked out of the ballpark, the future Julio Jones, Thompson's coming in. They've done a great job. They really have. I got to take my hat off. They've done a wonderful job bringing players in. They rated every facility in the country, the top programs in the top conferences in the country. And Auburn, overall in the nation, came in 9th, which is great. If you're in the top 10, the way people spent money on facilities right now, you're doing pretty good. Auburn finished 9th in the nation in facilities. They just spent $92 million on the football facility. The most expensive project in Auburn history, $92 million. They've got a new indoor practice facility, a weight room second to none, recruiting lounge is unbelievable, multi-purpose kitchen, fuel bar, the things you're talking about. They come in, talk about that for real quick. By whatever position you play, they have these things they want you to drink and eat and everything.
Well, there's different calories for different types of athletes. If you're offensive lineman trying to, stay to 310, 320 pounds, you're going to eat a lot more food. You're going to have a lot more carbs. You're going to have a lot more protein. So, or if you're cornerback that's trying to stay, fast, twitchy, you're not going to eat as many calories. You're not going to have as much fat. You're going to have a little bit more protein, more fat. So they just have their nutrition broken down based on their body type, based on their needs. So it's very specific, and that's kind of what we do at Max Fit with the athletes we work with.
They also have a recording studio for their players. They want to come in and record something. They want to come and sing something. Why they did that, I have no idea. Flight simulators, you want to come in and be a pilot at Auburn Play, you come in and play games, you can do that. They got every kind of pool you can have in a facility. It's unbelievable. $92 million, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It was completed in 2023, $92 million. They're right now constructing a new video board for the north end zone, which is going to be, I saw a picture of it. It's going to be almost the entire length of the stadium on the back north end zone. It's gorgeous, beautiful. They have put big money into Auburn to bring recruits in. And you're seeing a lot of schools now, that's what they did with all that money. They funded all the rest of the university athletic department and built these facilities that would bring recruits in. Now they got to be careful going forward, because not just NIL is supposed to be something totally different from the colleges.
Right.
Urban did a good piece. I don't know if y'all read about Urban Myers, what he said. He did a pretty good job on all that.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to be what it's doing right now, buying players to come in for recruiting purposes, but it is. We all know what it is right now.
The funny thing is, why put money into facilities when you can just give it right to the recruit now?
That's
what he was basically touching on.
And that's where we're heading right now with this. Not only that, we're going to have to start playing revenue sharing now. That's the next thing. We're talking, I saw one article, $300,000 per athlete. And I think that was football. I don't think that was every sport. I think it was football. So you're talking $25 million on each school. They're going to be spending less on the facilities and everything else, because that money's going to have to go to the players. So everything's going to change. It's not now where the kids want to come play. I read one article, they said you got to have both. You got to have these great facilities, and you got to be able to pay top money. The Big Ten and the SEC will probably have the most, and it should, most revenue sharing of players, because they're bringing in all the money. So they're going to get what? The best players are going to want to go to these two conferences right here. It's all heading towards a super conference. Would y'all like that?
No.
It is what it is, though.
Yeah. I college
you got a
athletes-
kid right now going through it.
Right, college athletes are now free agents.
Yeah.
For year to year, they shop their services as a free agent, like you would see in professional sports, and they're up to the highest bidder in the best fit, so to speak. And so it's unique. And with my son being a Florida commit, baseball doesn't get nearly as much NIL money as football does. But we went up for a camp. I don't know, probably 3 or 4 months ago, and the baseball team works out in the same facilities that the football team does. So the football team this was in the summer, kind of working out. I kid you not, the parking lot there, right before that, there was Mercedes, BMWs, brand new Hellcats.
Nice.
And Cooper said, well, what kind of, and sure enough, the sign said player parking. I'm not making it up.
Yeah.
I mean, it looked like a
Alabama parking lot in the 90s?
Yeah, I mean,
70s.
It was impressive. So that was NIL in action, just looking at the player parking lot as they were working out in the summer. So
I don't mind that aspect of it. I think, and what we've been talking about is NIL is not being used for NIL, though. It's used for enticing high school kids that they think are going to change the program or be elite talents to come in. That's never what this was intended for. The whole intention was college athletes couldn't work for years. I mean, they couldn't really work an off-season job and make money because the NCAA frowned upon that. So the NCAA was making tons of money selling their jerseys off the name, image, and likeness of these kids, and the kids weren't getting anything out of it. So that's what the NIL was supposed to be about, and that's totally what's not going on now. And it's totally scarred the game, in my opinion. Because along with the transfer portal, some of these teams are unrecognizable from year to year. That's one thing I don't like about the NFL. I like the pageantry of college football. It feels like you're playing for more than just money at this point. But I think that's lost, and I think that's going away fast.
I want to ask you something. This is not really to do with this, but we're talking about these college players. In the old days, you grew up and loved the university. You wanted to go play there. You never would transfer out. You stay and wait your turn. It was about the team. If Coop had, let's just say LSU or Alabama, they're close by, Auburn close by, and they came and said, hey, look, we know you're committed, and this happens. We know you're committed to Florida. This is how much money we're going to give you, NIL money, if you forget Florida and come play for us. And that's going on.
Oh, for sure.
I can tell you about the safety at Alabama. I can tell you a story about that.
Let's go. Caleb Downs.
What's the problem?
All-American, Ohio State.
What's the problem?
Number 2.
Anyway.
It'd have been okay if he'd have played for Kirby. You'd be fine now.
It'd have been all right.
Yeah,
what would
thank
you do? How would you handle this? Because other families would go, oh, wait a minute, son. They're going to pay you $100,000 more to go to Auburn than Florida. We need to go to Auburn. I mean, how would you handle it? How would Coop handle it?
It's a great question. I mean, my son grew up a Gator fan. I'm an alumni there, and we would always go to different baseball games. So Florida was always his dream school. So when he got an offer to play baseball there, he obviously jumped at the opportunity. But it's a great question. If a school like an LSU or an A&M or some of those bigger money schools that honestly they're more baseball schools than maybe some Florida and some of the others, but they come and say, listen, I know your son's a Florida commit, but we're going to give him an extra $100,000 or $150,000, 6 figures to go here. I mean, it gives you pause. Yeah. It has to. But again, you balance school loyalty with the money part of it, and somewhere, one will probably outweigh the other, big picture wise. And it's unfortunate that money oftentimes trumps a lot of things, and maybe even school loyalty.
But some of these kids aren't coming from background. I mean, some of these kids are dirt poor. I mean, you got to look at that aspect of it. If you're maybe have a mom that makes $25,000 a year working 3 jobs, that $100,000 is a lot different than somebody that's already established, that's had a different type of upbringing, that has a little bit of money, has a little bit of flexibility on where they can go to school. That $100,000 for that family, that the mom's suffering, the kids have 3 kids in 1 bedroom. That's a different type of money than what they've ever seen before, and that's hard to turn down.
It is, and baseball is unique too. A lot of people said, "Hey, Cooper's got an offer from Florida. Boy, a full ride." Baseball's not a full ride, and so you'll see the NIL really making a big push in baseball, because all those folks you see play baseball, regardless of where it's at, their parents are paying money for them to go to college. It's not like football and basketball are full rides. Those folks you see playing on TV aren't paying a dime to play there. Baseball, they are paying. Those are not full scholarships. So a lot of times the NIL really moves the needle in baseball, because it makes up for the money their parents are paying in tuition. And so it's
I have
interesting.
a question that I wanted to ask you, or even Pat, and my question is about minor league baseball. So now you have the ability to go to Florida, make $50,000, $75,000, or do I go to a AA day where I'm going to be traveling to these little towns that maybe make $65K a year. To me, that's the argument. I want to know what's going on, how that's going to affect minor league baseball, because I think college baseball is going to grow because of the NIL.
But you're 100% right. And here's the wild card. I just talked to the county athletic director here in Bay County. He was down. All the athletic directors in Florida met last week in Orlando. NIL is coming to high school in the state of Florida sooner rather than later. There's 30. I know you're shaking your head. There's 30 states that have already approved name, image, and likeness for high schoolers. Florida will be there within the next few months. So if you're a high schooler in the state of Florida, you will be able to make money off your name, image, and likeness like the other 30 states. So and Florida is unique, unlike other states, is we're very open in regards to transfer rules.
Right.
Where students can, along with their parents, can move schools pretty freely already. Now, when you add in NIL for high schoolers, boy, it is going to be the wild, wild west.
See, we're right now trying to raise money for Bozeman to take this expensive trip. I just know a lot. I talked to one businessman, and I'm not going to mention his name. It's not on Panama City Beach. It's over across the bridge. Said he was approached about NIL for a baseball player to bring him into Bay County, and he said, no way. I'm not going to do that. I'll give money to a school to help everyone. I'm not paying an individual kid. But there are parts of the state of Florida, they will do that.
I can only imagine Miami-Dade, Broward.
Orlando.
Down in South Florida. I can't imagine the NIL deals for high schoolers that will be showing up at random schools.
When we get back, we're going to talk more about this NIL day, NIL. And I want to talk more about Coop and some of these other great players we have in the Panhandle about this NIL when we get back with Steve Moss. Let's talk about some of our great people right now. Again, we mentioned him earlier, Chad Mitchell, 25 years this fall on Bay County sidelines. Any type of injury, go see Chad. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Get down there and have a great time. You might run into Coop down there. Who knows? Also, Rudy's Barbecue on Baton Beach Road. Three great meals. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They got the Lorelei Layton room in the back. You want to have a chamber meeting. Pre-game meal, banquet, anything, they can do it. They also cater. Rudy's Barbecue on Baton Beach Road. The food's incredible. Great people down there. And I want to thank Pat Perneau for the Auburn update. Pat, love you, brother. Great city commissioner of Lynn Haven. Unbelievable restaurant. Beef or Braised Lynn Haven. Go check it out. And tomorrow, 10 wings and a side for $9.99. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
America's team plays here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's number 10.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Chris Sale lead the Braves' dominant pitching rotation.
That's 18 up, 18 down.
Sponsored by Panama City Toyota, LS Agency Insurance, Bestway Portable Buildings, PCB Hobby, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Got him swinging, strike three.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Discover the most convenient way to buy men's clothing. Pierce Bespoke. Whether it's custom or casual, they come to you to take the hassle out of shopping. If buying off the rack doesn't work for you, let Pierce Bespoke show you how to get the perfect fit. Call Pierce Bespoke to schedule your appointment. 251-278-8270. That's 251-278-8270.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Bonafide and qualified.
Live and local from the J. Michael Studio.
Certified.
the sports talk monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Steve Moss is with us. That's some good. I'm glad you're here today because we got all these questions about NIL, and he just broke the news that our county athletic director came back and that NIL's coming to Florida. It's passed. It's here.
You're correct. The 30 states have already approved it. Florida's kind of late to the ball game, honestly, in regards to high schoolers being able to make money off their name, image, and likeness. You call it a Pandora's box we might be opening, but it'll be very interesting. But when I say soon, within the next month or so, I would think the FHSAA will be officially coming out with how that looks in the state of Florida.
Here's one thing I don't think they thought about. Well, they probably did. There's nothing you can do about it. But we have a Alabama booster, and they know there's a kid, Panama City Beach or Panama City. We got to have him. He's a 5-star. The kid can play. We got to make it happen. Well, we find out who the alumni down in Bay County. Okay, we find out one. Hey, they get a call from that business. We want you to. We're going to pay you NIL money, representative of our company. You're going to be playing football, baseball at Arnold. We're going to pay you X amount of money. And we need you to go up to Alabama every weekend, too. So not only is it help the high schools here recruit players to come to those high schools, if you have a big, like you played at Bay, you want a kid to represent your business to go play at Bay High School. Same thing with a college player. I mean, a kid that the college wants at Alabama, Florida, Florida State. They can get the people who live in those communities to give those kids NIL money, knowing it's tied to that school. It's just getting wilder and wilder by the minute.
It is. It is where money is driving the show. School loyalty, facilities, conference, all those kind of things take a backseat to the dollar.
Even coaching.
Here's my question about this. And if it's coming, you'll probably be involved in this. What's the legal? I mean, a lot of these kids aren't even 18 years old. So let's say you got a sophomore, 15, 16 years old. He's going to get a deal. What's the legal? His legal. He's not even an adult. He can't even vote. I mean.
And he'll pay taxes on it. He'll get a 1099.
Well, how does he
I'm
sign
just
a
throwing it out
contract?
there. What's the responsibility for a kid that's who's going to be responsible for his actions? Are his parents? I mean,
probably.
Have you all got any answers on this stuff yet?
Not yet. It's still. I think we're waiting on the FHSAA to come out to say here's and what they're not trying to reinvent the wheel. The state of Florida, they'll look at other states and see what they're doing and what's working and what's not working.
But I think some of it was that like high school kids couldn't go and earn NIL because some kids are getting money to go on recruiting trips. Like you can get $5,000 to go to Florida State on a recruiting trip just to show up. And I think because of the Florida laws, they weren't allowed to receive some of that money. They weren't allowed to participate in some of the NIL activities.
True.
So this is just opening up the Florida kids to be able to do whatever their states are already doing.
Well, you made a great point. Some of those kids are going like, my 5 visits are going to be who's going to pay me to come visit.
For sure.
How much are you going to pay me to come visit? Just to come look. How much are you going to pay me to come look? That's crazy. Let me ask you this, Steve, and I know you and your wife have done well, but, and it's a personal question. You don't have to answer if you want to, but you mentioned a number off the air. If a school, we'll use that same school, LSU, if they come and say, Coop, we know you've been committed to Florida, but we're going to give you $200,000 and $225,000 because we think you fit with us better. We can win a national championship with you here at LSU. Then I think you have to think about that because what if he gets hurt the first day he walks on the field? If he's got $225,000 in the bank compared to $25,000 going to Florida, even someone that's making pretty good money, you got to think about those things.
Yep. No.
Have y'all had these talks?
We have. We've had these talks.
Do you need me to come over tonight?
Hold the money while you talk.
Around the dinner table. Next thing you know, Florida has recruited flipped to Alabama. Right. James Hale is reporting. I'm like, wait a minute.
Come on, Coop.
So it's unique. I mean, you have that aspect of it, that it used to be you either went pro and got paid or you went to college and you didn't get paid. But you got the college experience and you got a degree. And, there was some value to that. Now, the pros, that can kind of take a backseat to some degree, unless you're a first or second rounder, right? Then it's big money. You can go to college and still make really good money and get the college experience. And who knows, maybe even a degree. God forbid you actually get an education and play college sports.
What's that?
But go figure. But you can actually get a little bit of both worlds. You get the college experience and play on that big level and get paid, whereas before you couldn't get paid, at least legally. And so now it used to be, pros was the only way to go get paid. Now that's not so much. So now I think it's really, if you're not drafted in the first, second, third rounds, maybe you just go the college route because you could still do pretty well. And so we have that discussion a lot. Cooper has I call him an agent, an advisor, right? And they said, eventually, Steve, you're going to have to come up with a number. And I said, well, what do you mean? They said, when Cooper's a senior, we will shop him around to all these major league teams, Pirates, Twins, Yankees, whoever it is, and they will ask, how much is it going to take for Cooper to skip going to Florida and sign with us? And he said that number is different for every player. Some it's 200,000, some it's 2 million. But he said, eventually, I'm going to need your number because these major league teams will ask, how much is it going to take for Cooper to skip going to the University of Florida and sign with us? But everybody has a different number because they value the experience and college different.
Possibly ponder that.
It's tough.
I mean, what's the future hold? What's the economy hold in the future?
Ever been to Florida?
What's what's the risk value here? But oh my God,
it's tough. And he said that number is different for every player because obviously, unlike football and some of the other sports, in baseball you can get drafted right out of high school and skip that. But everybody has a different value they put on the college experience. Again, he said for some it's 200,000, for some it's 2 million to skip that opportunity.
And you really got to think about if a kid gets hurt, and it doesn't hardly ever happen, but it does happen. We had a player that signed with Jimmy Johnson with Miami. He could have gone anywhere in the country when we were at Lake Wells, and when he got injured, got hurt in a car wreck, almost got killed, could never play, hardly could never walk after that. And Jimmy Johnson kept him on full ride. He said, hey, his dad was Ray. He said, Ray, he's going to come up here and he's going to help me coach. He's going to help the coaches out. He said, don't worry about his education. That was Jimmy Johnson. He didn't have to do that. Right. He did. That's the kind of guy he was. He's a great guy. But you got to, anything can happen.
Injuries is the wild card.
Anything, a car wreck, injury, anything. Right. And if they're going to pay him a lot more money they're going to make at Florida, that might be a tough decision like you're talking about. You're talking about going playing pro now, but I'm talking about even NIL money with another school. He might have to make that tough decision.
Well, and Cooper now is a two-way player. Obviously, in high school, he's able to hit and pitch. But especially as a pitcher, if indeed you're a PO or a pitcher only, I mean, the extent of injuries you're seeing now, even at the pro level, and they got the best trainers and the best science out there, they're still getting Tommy Johns and blowing out elbows and shoulders. Right, and this is at the top level. And so, especially if your son or whoever it might be is a pitcher, boy, with the amount of injuries that are happening at every level, but even at the pros, you kind of go, boy, in retrospect, wouldn't it have been nice if we had some guaranteed money via NIL or whatever it was to kind of cover because of this injury? We're not guaranteed he'll ever throw a pitch again.
It just went off in my head. What are you guys going to do? You're a school board member. How are you guys going to handle this? It used to be you didn't have to recruit players. The players recruited players to come to a certain school. Mm-hmm. Now, hey, school board members, my son's been approached by a player, and if he goes to Bay and plays, he'll get part of money with NIL money with Jason Kovaleski and Max Fit Sports Nutrition.
I promise.
All these people want to go to Bay. What are you guys going to do then?
It's tough.
Really, nothing you can do.
For the local school board, it's out of our control. It'd be the FHSAA. It would be the government.
And even
body.
They can't do anything, right?
It's awfully tough. I mean, coaches aren't allowed to recruit, but again, individuals themselves, the FHSAA doesn't have a whole lot of oversight in regards to what individuals do. I mean, as long as they play within the guidelines of the NILs of what you can pay high schoolers, that's right, pay high schoolers to endorse a certain product, it's awfully going to be tough. It's going to be tough to enforce.
Now, do they follow the lead of the NCAA? Because the NCAA, we need some structure from them. I think that's what's lacking. But I think once they set some structure on what's going to happen, whether the schools are going to be playing the players or whatever happens, then I think that's going to bleed down to the high school level, and then we'll figure this out. But we're in the midst of it. It looks chaotic. It's going to be chaotic for a couple more years, I believe. But there will be some structure here in the next couple of years.
We're figuring out how to fly the plane while we're on
it.
And so there's a lot of details that need to be worked out, because if you don't work out those details, you open yourself up to abuse. Right. Absolutely. In regards to, I mean, literally, even now with the transfer rules in the state of Florida, not even talking about the money, you could play football for Rutherford, you could run track and field for Bay, and play baseball for Arnold, all in the same year
we saw that
without
happen.
sitting out.
We were down Southwest Florida where all this stuff started. We saw that happening. They bounce to school. Who's got a good baseball team? They're over there. Who has the best football team? We're going to Fort Myers. We saw that.
And eligibility,
firsthand.
you don't have to sit out. You can play immediately. So already in the state of Florida, we're very open in regards to players jumping schools and playing wherever they want to as long as there's capacity. Now you add in the money part of that.
And how can you fire a coach now for losing when they can't match a booster club that has businessmen that will pay for kids to go to one school? But you will. I mean, you will. It's going to happen.
They'll do it.
It's like the rich gets richer and the poor get poorer.
I do think in some instances it has helped kind of, bring a lot more teams to the table as far as college football, because it used to be 3 or 4 teams, let's be honest. I mean, Alabama, Georgia, Ohio State, maybe a Clemson, maybe a Texas comes in, LSU every now and then. But I do think that talent, because teams now can pay for it. There's a lot more 5 stars that go to like a Purdue or a
They're not going to sit on the bench.
North Carolina. Right. Yeah. You're not going to sit on the bench. So I think in some aspects it has leveled the playing field a little bit, but when you got that much money, when you're Ohio State, Alabama, that brand, that recognition, you're always going to thrive no matter what system's in place.
I bet when Alabama was so great with Coach Bryant for 25 years, they would stockpile players. They would give every rules made was what he used to do.
Right.
He would give scholarships, basketball scholarships. They had one team, they didn't even have the team for it, but they put them on scholarship and they all played football. Their first and second team was as good as their first. I mean, the second, third team was as good as their first.
Woody did that.
Yeah, and you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, he would send people to Notre Dame just so they wouldn't go to Michigan, so they wouldn't have to play.
Right now.
That's great.
Take a break now. Take the phone call now at the break. Break, phone call. I tried for that job. I didn't get it. They said something I couldn't make out certain signals. Anyway, thank you, Glenn. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. Turf Pro Pest Control. You want that yard to look absolutely beautiful? I tell you, Patrick can do it. Call Turf Pro Pest Control. They'll come out. That yard look absolutely gorgeous. No doubt about that. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli on Thomas Drive. 3 restaurants in one. The pizza's incredible. The bakery is to die for. The Paradise Cake, the Napoleon, the Carrot Cake, the Chocolate Cake, the puddings. They got it all right down there at Paparazzi Gourmet Deli. It's incredible. And now John has got a bar in there. They've got everything right there for you. Go check it out. You'll love it. He's a retired police officer. For that reason alone, we should pack the place out. Paparazzi Gourmet Deli on Thomas Drive. Love John. Great man. Dr. Ward, love you, brother. We can listen to him tomorrow at 7:30, talk about the Florida Gators and youth, and talk about South Walton baseball. He'll be talking about that. And again, the big game will be played tomorrow. 90% sure it's going to play at Arnold. We'll talk about that all tomorrow morning. Steve, you might want to call in tomorrow morning. We need to get out there and pack it out. The winner goes to the state playoff series down in Fort Myers. South Walton, Arnold High School. Let's pack that place out. The biggest crowd ever in Bay County. Let's make it happen. We'll be right back. 104.3. Oh, yes. Love that song. Turn it up.
ESPN Northwest Florida is celebrating our 7-year anniversary on June 26th.
Gotta be a curtain call right here.
You made us the #1 destination on the Panhandle for live and local sports talk, high school, college football, the NFL, and the Atlanta Braves.
Way on back it goes. That's torched.
And to thank you for helping us reach this milestone, we're giving away more tickets to the Atlanta Braves this season than ever before. Keep listening for details from ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Tuesday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, a chance of thunderstorms and some clouds, and a high of 78 with a moderate breeze coming out of the south at 15 miles per hour. For tonight, a variety of some clouds and a likelihood of thunderstorms and a low near 76. Tomorrow, mostly sunny and a high around 81. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
With over 65 years of combined experience, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to help you take your collection to the next level. They carry all the new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia, and supplies. New and vintage cards and Pokemon. They sell and trade cards and are always looking to buy. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards is open 7 days a week at 752 West 23rd Street, down from Academy Sports. It can always be reached at InstantReplaySportsCards.com.
It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local from the J. Michaels Studio.
A lot more excitement is yet to come.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Got Steve Moss with us this morning, Jim Brandt, Jason Kovaleski, the legend, and then Wildcat. And we got a phone caller. Let's take this phone call. Good morning, sir.
Hey, Coach Bill Shields.
Hey, Bill, what you doing, big guy?
Oh, on my way to a office meeting, but I got a question for Steve.
Okay.
So, moving forward, you were talking about the NIL money at the high school level. How, if any, effect will Title IX come into play on that?
It's a good question. I mean, obviously, every athlete, I assume, will have the opportunity to make money off of their name, image, and likeness on the high school level, whether they're female or male. But in regards to being a level playing field with the Title IX baked in, that's a good question. We'll have to see. I mean, obviously, it is what it is. The male-dominated sports, football and basketball and baseball, seem to attract more fans. And so, therefore, if I'm a business owner, I'm going to be gravitating towards those type sports that have more fans in the stands. And those are the athletes that I want to, if I'm a business owner, sponsor, in theory, because that's where there's going to be people with butts in the seats. Whether that's fair or unfair in regards to Title IX male versus female sports. If I'm a business owner and I want to sponsor an athlete, I want the most bang for my buck, so I'm going to choose an athlete that has the largest stage where they can, promote me.
I get that, but now you kind of know the history behind my guys and how old they are and all. And back during the 90s, in the early 2000s, there was actually a high school over on the east coast of Florida that had their baseball program shut down because the girls' softball facilities were not up to par with the baseball facilities. And I'm just wondering, I don't know if, like I say, you're in this mess every day. I'm not. I just, I can just see down the road where it would be, well, you've got guys that are making more money. Everything's got to be fair, this in the society today. Everything, it's about, well, that's not right, it's not fair. So, anyway, just wondering what your thoughts were on that.
It's a good question. The local school board, I can see, will have very little to no oversight because so much of it is going to be at the state level with the FHSAA, where if someone has a complaint or if they think there's a violation of recruiting or NIL, then they'll forward that on to the folks up in Tallahassee with the FHSAA. The only way that I think the local school board would get involved if some of our employees, i.e. coaches or teachers, were somehow inappropriately involved with recruiting a student via money or name, image, and likeness. And then we'll have to cross our bridge when we get to. I don't know what that looks like.
All right. Well, I appreciate it, guys.
Hey, Bill.
You're doing a great job. Enjoyed the show today.
Bill, when you go to that high end, I know that meeting you're getting ready to go to, some really great people will be there. Mention to them if they can give a few bucks to Bozeman High School to help pay for their trip for the state championship, we'd appreciate that.
Yep, that's on my to-do list.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you, sir.
And Coach Shields, Shields, his boys were some amazing athletes as well.
Yeah,
Don't let them fool you.
And they're great businessmen, too. Yeah. I mean, he's got a great family. There's no doubt about that. A lot of people, Bill Allen says the mother was in charge of all of it. Does not give Bill any credit at all.
I get it.
Did he hang up? He must have. Probably just wrecked his car.
Yeah. So
anyway,
on the Title IX thing, I don't know if NIL can be regulated under Title IX because it's an independent company dealing with a person independently. Now, if it came from the school,
right,
that's a different ballgame altogether. But I'm not sure how the Title IX can be effective.
It would almost be tough because then you're going to tell a certain business you have to sponsor as many female athletes as you do male. And this is capitalism. This is my own money. I get to decide what to do with it as a business owner to some degree. It'd be tough. But now some of those female sports, UConn women's basketball, some of those Oklahoma girls softball, boy, they pack it out.
Oh, for sure.
So if you're in those individual communities, there might be a chance where you want to sponsor a female athlete over a male athlete because that sport is just so successful. And again, they pack it out.
And I think one of the top earning NIL earners for like the first 3 years was an LSU gymnast, a woman. She looks pretty good.
She's dating Paul Skeens.
Yeah, there you go.
But yes.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah.
There was one. Hey, Steve, real quick when we got you here, man, we got to do something for Glenn Manley.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's been over there forever, worked his tail off. He's a superstar on the radio. Everybody knows him. I hope they name something to him at Bay High School. Even maybe a practice field or bathroom, something, the Manley room.
At one time, I know we're working on the practice football field and working with the superintendent on that. If that doesn't work out, there at Tommy Oliver, the second urinal from the left in the men's bathroom.
I saw that, yeah. It actually,
the short one?
Glenn Manley urinal. It's the second from the left. You'll see there's a little plaque on it in front of it.
Did you read above it what I said about Glenn?
For a good time.
For a good
We're working on the practice football field, but if not, that second urinal from the right.
Glenn's watching you now.
We already got it reserved.
Tag up there.
Bingo. But no, Coach Manley has done so much for Bay High over the years. That's our plan, and working with the superintendent, still work in progress, but naming the practice football after Coach Manley. There's no telling how many hours he has spent dedicated to Bay High.
And also, you guys done a great job. We had a new county athletic director. I really like him. He was the basketball coach at Arnold. His daddy, I think his dad's still coaching in Birmingham, basketball up there.
Yeah, Josh Latch.
Josh is doing a great job. You still get to see him much?
I do. Almost, I'd say every other day we talk. We talk quite a bit.
Does he get around to all the games like Tommy used to do?
He does. He gets there often. And he has a young family as well. But and so I know that takes some time, needless to say. But he's at all the events. And oftentimes he has two boys, actually three now, but you'll see him and his boys with them at different games and this and that. Noah, Josiah, and then the new one is Hayes. But it's exciting because not only do you see a young guy out there supporting local sports, but he's got his boys with him as well, which is great. They love coming up to the PA announcing thing. I think it's because it's air conditioned, honestly. Right. But usually we got some free food up there too.
Now, he is working something for Tommy Santamont, correct?
He is.
They're working on something.
Tommy Santamont, the county athletic director for years.
He's in State Hall of Fame, but we haven't done anything here for him yet. But they're working on that.
Yes,
that's great.
Yes. And it's nice to be able to recognize some of the folks that have put in a lot of time and effort in our local athletics and with our student athletes. Here's the unique part. School board policy says that you cannot name anything, a building or whatever, after somebody while they're still alive.
We can kill Glenn. We'll kill him tomorrow. We can do that.
It has to go before the school board, and we have to vote to supersede our policy if we want to name something after someone that's still alive. Right. I know that sounds silly.
And we need to have a Bay County Hall of Fame. Your boy's going to be in it. Yeah. I mean, they need to get that going.
And we don't. I mean, and who knows? We've had some amazing athletes come through Bay County.
NFL guys.
Correct. Major League baseball type players. And so I think we're still working on how that looks, but I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And each school should have theirs. But Glenn's done so many great things. I can't believe it's gone by this fast. I didn't get half the stuff in I want to get with you today. Tell everybody again what's going on with the baseball game tonight. What are you hearing? What's the deal?
Game was supposed to be tonight, the big regional final. It's been pushed back, we believe, to Wednesday night. It's going to be at Arnold High School. Arnold will host South Walton. The winner goes to the Final Four in baseball. Game time, 7 o'clock. And it looks awfully like it it'll be Wednesday now instead of tonight just because of the rain. The field is just so.
Would you do me a big favor? Could you call the show tomorrow at 7:15? We'll talk from 7:15 to 7:30 because you'll probably know all the details tomorrow at 7:15.
That is correct. And if you're even if you're just a casual baseball fan, there's going to be some really high-level athletes that'll be competing in this game. Florida commits, Florida State commits, Georgia Tech, Auburn on both teams. So even if you're just a casual baseball fan and you want to see some really good high school baseball tomorrow night, Wednesday at 7 o'clock at Arnold High School, you're going to see some high-level high school talent. Oh, and again, the winner goes on to the Final Four. The loser, their season's over. So a lot on the line.
Going to the state, man. It can't get any bigger than this. We need to make this the biggest crowd in the history of Bay County, and we can do it.
Yep.
And we'll hear Steve tomorrow. How much time?
We have 1 minute. And
All
I
right.
still got that website. It's at Bozeman_baseball to donate.
That's
well,
your
they
Venmo
call it
account.
something.
Venmo account.
Yeah, that account.
If you'd like to give to the Bozeman's, they're down in Fort Myers right now. They'll be playing for a state title tomorrow, at least in the Final Four.
And then Wednesday and Thursday, or Thursday or Friday, we'll start helping either South Walton or Arnold because they're going to. Can you imagine that 2 teams from this area going to the state championships in the great state of Florida? That's
Great baseball
incredible.
up here.
Steve, thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. Jason, we got you Friday.
Yep.
Jim Bob got you Friday.
Yep.
All right, we are out. You guys, Ryan Movy's got a great show coming up from 11 to 1, and then David 4 to 6. David's doing a great job, by the way. Enjoyed it. I listened to him a little bit yesterday. And they will give you updates throughout the day, but we already know it's not going to be played tonight. I mean, it's no way. We're out. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
In the hole, 1 foot getting deeper with a broken mirror and a blown out speaker. And I ain't got.
Mornings on ESPN Northwest Florida just got unsportsmanlike.
You can dunk. I can dunk what? Donuts? You can dunk? What do you mean I can't dunk? You've never been able to dunk. You're not a short guy. I'm 6'1". I can't dunk.
Yeah, I'm
Why would you think I
Don't
can
look at
dunk?
me.
Well, I mean, I see your jersey in the studio. You got your own bobblehead. I'm just sitting there thinking, okay.
That's a radio bobblehead.
This guy can dunk.